is the rhythm of change. This is the sound of redemption. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. Igniting the fire within you. Exalting the melody of freedom. These are the things that will bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Down, down, down.
Let me tell you, it's in the air. Joy is in the air. Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Don't sleep on it, brother. You might get left, sister. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Justice. No need to be counted, cause I am down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down for the end of racism, for the end of bigotry, cause I am down. For the end of misogyny, that's right. For all the isms out there, just down, down, down. Let's bring it down. Rise up, people. No more foolishness, and let's bring it way down.
Riding the river of change into the cries of contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. We are the children of Eden, dancing and celebrating freedom. We are the ones that must bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. We've got to bring it down. Down. Stand up and shout. Stand up and shout. Rise together.
Accountability starts now. The Eric Dawson Radio Show.
Yeah. Rise up. Stand up, shout it loud.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized and stereotyped, please don't even show up.
All right. So wait a minute. Where's my music? I gotta turn the music off. Although I do love the song.
Yay! Music off. Music off.
All right. So what's going on? Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good. Right. We should start with that. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Eric. Good morning, Eric. Good morning. It's Monday after the Super Bowl. Woo-hoo.
Good morning, guys. It is Monday after the Super Bowl.
Who won the Super Bowl?
It wasn't the Chiefs.
So then who was it? The Giants?
Did you see the meme that I
The
that I?
Buccaneers.
Did you see the meme? The funniest
No.
meme ever was a meme of Tom Brady with Patrick Mahomes on his shoulder, and it said it was "Take your son to work day." Yo, listen. I am not a Tom Brady fan.
So did Tom Brady win or Tom Brady didn't win?
They
Yeah,
won.
you won.
But I'm not a Tom Brady fan because
So this makes what, his fourth ring or third ring?
seventh.
Seventh.
Seventh. What the hell?
So
They can't stop him?
I'm a Miami Dolphin fan,
Mm-hmm.
and because I'm a Miami Dolphin fan, and Tom Brady played most of his career with the Patriots, by virtue of that alone, I'm not a Tom Brady fan. And I gotta say, because my Dolphins, the only team with an undefeated record, when the Patriots played the Giants in the Super Bowl, because the Patriots were undefeated going into the Super Bowl, I, as is customary with all Miami Dolphin fans, I bought a bottle of champagne, and I was at my friend's house who's a Giant fan, and when the Giants won, I was able to pop open my bottle of champagne, though it was the last game of the season, in celebration of the Dolphins maintaining their status as the only undefeated NFL football team in history.
What year was that?
Oh,
72?
no. Well, that the Dolphins went undefeated, or when the Giants beat the Patriots?
Dolphin undefeated.
The Dolphins.
71-72 season.
And you pop champagne in?
Every
Damn,
year.
how old
No.
were
I didn't pop champagne then.
you? You like say how old were you? You were able
No.
to drink this?
No. No, I had my first drink at 17.
Really?
I had a sip of beer. I had to have a guy. I did what a lot of young people do. I was living in Newark. My parents had gone away to. My dad was president of Board of Education at the time, and he had to go to Washington, and so he and my stepmom went, and so I was left at home by myself, and so I figured I'd be a naughty guy. So I went to the store, and of course they wouldn't let me buy, beer. So I paid a guy to go in and buy beer for me. I took the 6-pack of beer home thinking that I was doing something really, on the,
Adult side.
really on the adult side diet. And I was all by myself too, right? So I didn't have friends or anybody. It was just me, my brown bag with my 6-pack of Budweiser. I was like, naughty Eric.
With your tall cans, they didn't have Bud Light back then.
No, it wasn't Bud Light. It was just Bud.
Yeah.
And I got
They didn't have
home.
Bud Light then. Oh my
I
God,
cracked
that
open
is
one
so
can, Diane, and it was my first time tasting beer. I spit it out.
You were like, I
Oh.
don't understand why people drink.
And that was the end.
Oh,
That was the end of it. Well, because I didn't smoke or do any of those things because I was an athlete. I wrestled, I ran track, I played football, so I was more concerned about those kinds of things. But with my parents going away, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna live on the wild side, and
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah,
That was such waste. That was a waste.
it was a waste. Anyway, so I told a friend of mine that it was going to be a blowout. I thought that Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs were going to blow them out because typically in football, speed wins, right? But I will tell you Coach Bowles dialed up the best defensive strategy against speed. And,
What was that?
well, what he did was he made them one dimensional. So he took away the speed by moving the safeties back and saying, you're not going to get a deep ball on us, so you have to do something else, right? So those players that they rely on for those, exciting plays, they couldn't rely on them, right? And
And taking away the safeties, he also blitzed Mahomes, keeping him mobile on a broken toe.
well, but you know what? That was less of an issue early on, right? Because they marched down the field, but they couldn't capitalize it in the end zone, right? So and this was a game where you had to secure dominance early, right? And so the Chiefs, pardon the pun, shot themselves in the foot on multiple occasions early on, right? Defensive penalties that led to, led to them digging themselves in a hole. Offensive mishaps, drop balls that they should have caught, right? Which left Mahomes in third and long situations. This was early on, like early first quarter. And so it kind
Sounds like a Pop Warner game to me.
well, it set the tone, right? Because you have to. It's about field position. It's about building confidence, right? It's about getting into a rhythm. All of those things are important early on, and you could see by the end of the first quarter, the Chiefs were not in a rhythm. They were not confident. What was the one guy? Is he a safety or cornerback? Number 32 for the Chiefs. You could see he got. And this is the other thing that they're very good at. And Tom Brady was very good at this when he was with the Patriots, and you could see that he brought that over to him to Tampa Bay Buccaneers, getting under your skin, getting in your head, right? And that's what they did. So remember the early penalty where the Kansas City Chief got called for pushing, but in fact the Tampa Bay Buccaneer player pushed him first, right? And so then he flew off his handle and he was off kilter a little bit. And then that safety got in Tom Brady's face, but Tom Brady actually got in his face earlier, right? Chased him down the field, but the referees caught him. And then when they got to halftime, they talked about the disparity in calls. Right? They said, it was way lopsided. Like 80% or more of the calls were against the Kansas City Chiefs. But all of that got into the Kansas City Chiefs' head. You understand? So there are many facets to sporting competitions, and some of it doesn't even have to do with the oblong ball or the round ball if you're playing basketball or baseball. It is a psychological warfare that takes place, and the Kansas City Chiefs were ill prepared for the psychological warfare. They were ready to go out and just run hill down the field, rack up some points and do it. But the Patriots and Brady in particular, having had the experience of 6 prior championship victories, right, understood the value of psychological warfare. And you could see it just wear them down mentally. It was bananas to watch. So by the time they got into the second half, they were the Kansas City Chiefs were thinking about everything but football. Football, but they were thinking about not getting a penalty. They were thinking about being angry. They were thinking about all these other things. And Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just became more efficient as the game went on. It was brilliant. Bowles, and then the defense. Like I said, Bowles' defense. You didn't allow one of the most prolific offenses this season to score a touchdown. Not one touchdown.
Not to mention the distraction of Andy Reid with almost losing another child.
Yeah, there was some stuff. Yeah, that was a wicked accident, right? But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was going on. But congratulations to Tom Brady. You cannot argue. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Tom Brady's, but I am an athlete and I can recognize talent. Tom Brady to come because people said when he was with the Patriots that the only reason he was winning was because he was a part of an organization where you can plug and play anybody, right? And behind the mastermind behind that was Bill Belichick. Well, Bill Belichick didn't make it to the Super Bowl this year. Tom Brady did, right? Took a team on his shoulders, carried them to the Super Bowl. He has to go down as one of the best that ever did it. Get what you say. Right? So that is
I'm bored.
that is my ESPN analysis of the game yesterday. Now on to the commercials. They sucked. All that money.
Old commercials, what kind of did they do? Mostly the virtual commercials? Like, what did they do?
No, they did commercials, but they sucked. They were horrible. I did not one memorable commercial. Not one. They sucked. And the halftime show sucked. So that was it.
Yes, the weekend bored me. My wife is upset because he was lip syncing.
Yeah.
Halftime.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Who was the artist that performed?
The Weeknd.
Yeah, The Weeknd. But Diane. Oh, go ahead, Vincent.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
No, go ahead. Okay.
But I do have to say, and Jody, I know she's listening and she's waiting for this. Queen Latifah kicked ass in The Equalizer. Hot damn! I apologize.
What did you say bad about the Queen?
You don't remember? I said I hope she did well. But I said that I thought based on Halle Berry's performance in John Wick, that Halle Berry would have been a better, and she still may have been, right? I don't know. But, Queen Latifah brought it. She brought it all.
So is
What?
Eric, I gotta say, I'm proud of you.
Appearance, or is she on your always?
No, she is the star of the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, listen.
With Latifah, how many other black people in the show? Because that determines whether I'm watching it or not.
There were quite a few. So her family, she's got a daughter. I think that's her. Is that her sister or something? That's there. That's helping her take care of her daughter. Then you had somebody high up in the police department who was black. One of the criminals who she was after was black. Yeah, it was nice. And it had a black theme too. Oh, I want to get back to the Super Bowl because I want to talk about this whole black theme that was going on, during the course of the Super Bowl. But she talked about there were messages in the show, especially at the end, which I thought was really good, where her daughter had stolen a dress that she wanted to wear to some school event. And so Queen Latifah drove her to the outside of a prison, and had her look through the gate, and pointed out to her that there were black women there, overwhelmingly, and that the system is set up and waiting for black women to run afoul with the law so that they can lock them up. So this was like just very openly spoken in the show. So I was like, oh, okay, I could rock with that too. So like I said, I apologize, Queen. You did your shit last night.
Why would you think that she wouldn't be a good actress?
No. It wasn't about being an actress, Diane. Do you not remember the show?
No, I don't. So I'm trying to get to it. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking
See,
about.
so so let it be said. See, and Diane and I refer to Diane as my radio show wife. So much like my fiance doesn't always listen to me, Diane, my radio wife, doesn't listen to me either.
No, sometimes it's not really important. When it's important, I bring it back up again.
All right. So I was talking about if you so you saw The Equalizer, right? 1 and 2.
No, none of them. No.
Okay, so then it's hard for me to explain it to you. What?
The movie?
Yes, with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I saw one. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Was
so
he in both of them? Was he in both?
Yes, Diane.
Well, I'm trying to figure out whether I saw it or not.
Jo-
Okay, I saw at least one of them.
Jody, I'm struggling over here, Jody.
I'm sorry.
So, in short, Diane, he wasn't hard on Queen Latifah. He really said that he felt like it might have been a setup, that she wasn't, that he felt like, and not based on weight, but that someone that could make it, action scenes feel real, right? And that he didn't know if she could pull that off, and that, they set us up for failure, blah, 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 right? So he wasn't really hard on it. He just was concerned that she might not that look real for us, right? Like Halle Berry, I guess, in X-Men, and, that level of athleticism. So I called in and I told them that a lot of people don't know that Dana, one, is, very athletic, and more than anything,
former basketball player.
Yeah, and she has I knew she had a very extreme work ethic. So if she was going to take it on, she was going to try and nail it the best that she could. And she nailed it. Although the first scene, Eric, I thought about you because I mean, although I loved it, right? I loved seeing her in that role. I think she did a phenomenal job, just like you. But if you notice, the way they cut the action scene isn't that full-on display of
right.
You see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they had to do some hard cuts in the edit.
Absolutely.
But you know what though? Hey, look, that's cool. Like I didn't because what I realized when I noticed it, I didn't allow myself to stay in that space too long, right? Because it wasn't about me just trying to find reasons to be critical, right? And if I had stayed in that space, that's what it would have been about. So I just said, you know what, Eric, just sit back and just try to enjoy it. And when I took that posture, Jody, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the interesting thing about it, though. So I was wondering because in the movie, it's kind of different, right? Than how they're now positioning her. They're positioning her almost like the Dark Knight, right? Where she put out her bat signal, right, saying if you're in danger, right, I'm gonna be almost like a vigilante, right? I'm gonna come to your aid, and I wonder if it's gonna be specifically for females, right? Because that seemed to
the one that Regina King did.
What?
Is this now like a characterized cartoon, real life cartoon type thing? Superhero?
No.
No. It's really a series about someone, an ex, something, FBI. Not that that's what she is, but that ex person used to be in this limelight, and now is playing more of a vigilante, honestly, with connections.
Well, it's a black spin on a 1980 show, The Equalizer was, like she said, he was a former um, CIA operative in covert operations, and the original was a white guy with a British accent who drove a Jaguar, and he went around like you said, vigilantism, where people couldn't find justice.
Yeah, you guys don't remember the Equalizer?
Yes, that's what it is. The
Yeah.
Equalizer.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now that it's a black spin, portrayed by Denzel Washington, they put a black woman in, Queen Latifah. So, I mean, it could be a pro-woman show, but we need some black, heroines to represent. And I think she represented very well. Yeah, it was scripted and very choreographed action scenes, but on the best part, it was very entertaining.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to next week.
Absolutely.
Yo, I binge watched. My brother called me up and I'm like, oh man, I was going through my little anxiety phase, and so I'm just kind of like, I need something to just kind of take my mind off, stuff and just kind of relax. So he said, watch Money Heist. So I did. I couldn't stop. It just kept going and going and going and going. Well done. I'm just finishing the first season. Enjoyed it. I am enjoying it immensely. So if you haven't seen it, maybe something. If you want something that's action filled and it makes you think a little bit, it's called Money Heist. And then that's it for me for the weekend. Oh, Diane, I thought about you last night because you always get on me in my what do you call it? You call my yams white people yams? That what you refer to them? Or she may be off the line for a second. But I thought about her last night, Vincent.
Yes, if I believe the quote is correct, those are white people.
Well, I made my yams. And you know why she calls them that? Because of how I cut them.
Yes.
Right? Because she said, you don't make yams like that. You just kind of make them and they're not uniform, and maybe that's my type A personality, right? Where, they're uniformed. But I made them last night, and then I was tickled because I thought about Diane, and I could hear her on my shoulder saying, those are white people yams.
Wait a minute. What did you do? What did you make?
I made my yams, Diane.
Oh, God. That is not how black people eat yams. They don't really look appealing.
What do you mean they don't look appealing?
They don't look appealing. Big old orange brown slices. That looks weird. Nobody's cuts their
That's what I'm saying. So it's all about how I cut them. So I want you to understand, if she hasn't tasted...
You'll be saying, Eric, I'm making a green bean casserole.
Diane, I put that right next to my pumpkin pie on the table.
No, there's no pork or turkey butts in this casserole.
No, listen. My green bean casserole goes right next to my... My green bean casserole goes right next to my onions, which are right next to my pumpkin pie.
And he's got the onion rings in there for texture.
Pumpkin pie and a dollop of whipped cream. Where were we at in the and the white girl was like, yes, and whipped cream. I said, see, Eric, weirdos. It's white weirdos.
Wait a minute.
One of them.
Wait, Vincent, you don't like pumpkin pie? Vincent, don't let her intimidate you now.
No, I like pumpkin pie.
There you go.
But pumpkin pie is, like you said, just a little whipped cream.
Yeah.
But see, sweet potato pie, you don't disrespect the sweet potato pie with whipped cream.
Sweet potato, people ain't got to put nothing on it.
Exactly.
You got to put stuff on it because it's bland.
Yeah.
You spice it up with whipped cream.
A pumpkin pie is not bland, not if it's made correctly.
And it comes out of can. eats pumpkin
No,
pie?
it doesn't. Who makes a pumpkin pie out of a can?
They got it in the store. I seen it.
Well, they have sweet potato pie in a can too.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Don't believe it. Nope, they don't. And if it was because white people tried to put it in the can of sauce.
Eric, I'm afraid you've been hanging around the white people too long.
Way too long.
You're going to have to come back to the hood, man. I'm really...
He's fake black.
I'm fake black.
Don't come up here with your golf clubs either.
Oh, God.
I'm fake black.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You uppity black people in your golf clothes. I can't with y'all. Really?
Well, you know, we do. Uppity black people do get courtside seats, too.
I mean, I do play golf, too, but I'm just saying, you know. I can't swing it. And ski. Unfortunately, Eric won't even go skiing. Or ski. Now,
Oh, wait a minute, you went skiing
really
yesterday.
now. Are you really white or are you really black? I don't know where to put
Wait a
you.
minute, how was skiing yesterday, Diane? You went.
I didn't go because it was snowing.
Oh, well, duh. That's when
Is
you...
that the reason you go skiing?
That's what I was going to say.
Snowing, and I don't like to be on the road when it's fresh snow because that's dangerous.
Yeah, that is dangerous.
Son went and they had a good time, and I had a wonderful time at home cleaning and working on my business stuff. It was so relaxing. In fact, I may pay for them to go skiing every Saturday so I can get 5 or 6 hours to myself. I love it.
Got it.
That's the vacation home, having him away. So So they took pictures and everything to prove that they were there and they had skis. But for my tracker said they spent a whole lot of time in a lodge, so I don't know what they actually did.
So check this out. I'm going to show you guys this. My sister, who loves me and was instrumental in nursing me back to health and literally calls me every day and every night and just to see how I'm doing. She's always investigating because, she was diagnosed a while ago with breast cancer. She's doing fine now, but, she changed her entire lifestyle. So she's a raw vegan and all those other kinds of things. And, she tried desperately and still does to get me to change some of my eating habits. I have changed a lot of them, but not as many as she would like me to. But anyway, she's always looking at new masks, and she found this mask. I want to show it to you guys. It's got a lot of, I don't know what kind of writing this is on it. I'm going to put it up here. I think that may be Korean writing or something. I don't know. But she got it on Amazon. It's called a KF94 mask. I'm going to put it on so you can see how it fits. Because with them talking about these new strains and everything else, right? And they talk about how the other masks puff out. And I'm actually going to show you. So here's I got, because I do mine in black, right? So the blue ones that you get that they have in the hospitals. Let me see if I can show it to you, right? That one. So I got mine in black. But if you put the black one on, you'll see how on the side, especially with me and my beard, there's room on both sides, right? And certainly where I wear my ADOS mask. So when I wear my ADOS mask, I wear a bona fide N95 mask under it now. But she found these K94 masks, and I'm going to put this on so you can see what it looks like. This thing is the shiznit. Hold on. Wait till you see this. You watching, Diane?
No, I'm driving.
Okay. Are you watching, Vincent? Right?
No, I'm driving.
Are you driving too? So now I want you to see.
Yeah,
No, wait a minute, Diane. I want people to see this. See the difference.
I'm watching you, Eric.
Can you see this?
Always watching.
Jody's off
Hey, Jody.
point.
No. Can you see this, Jody? I really want you to look at the difference in this.
I'm driving to my next senior.
Wait. I want to see if Jody can when she sees it. Look at how complete this thing, and it's got like I forgot how many layers. Right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got like I don't know how many layers. And you know what they were saying about the other ones where you had to get this turtle to put there so that you can breathe, so that there was enough
Right.
space.
Some space.
Yeah, this one is built. And I really want to take time to show people. It's really built with the space inside that separates, so you don't need that turtle. But this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Look at that.
So, can you take it apart so you can wash it, hand wash it? Like how?
So my other sister, who's a nurse at the VA hospital in Orange, she said that to wear these masks, that you should put a mask over it, right? So if I wore this one, so I would do it like this. I would put this one on, right? And she said you really want to protect from outside contaminants on your mask, right? So if I put this one on, then I would take this other one, right? And I would put it over it, right? Like this. And it would protect, it would make the one underneath last longer, right? So I could wear it for more days, right? So that is the deal, right? So I'm gonna put this up on the screen, and my sister found it at on Amazon, but that's the, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that is it, right? So there we go.
Why don't we just wear a bubble? Now, there was these two guys, two brothers, I want to say from New Jersey, that got on a flight, were put off the flight because they bought these goggle-type submersion masks and stuff that had its own breathing system on it and all of this. They put them off the plane.
Really?
Yep.
And the rationale was why?
Unapproved.
Wow. Look, people are doing all kinds of stuff at this point because it's getting more and more scary. But the thing that I am very, very pleased about is that more people are getting vaccinated, right? And the anti-vaxxers, the science isn't really on their side, right? So when you look at the number of people being vaccinated and the number of reports of illness or, adverse reactions, not side effects, but adverse reactions, they're limited, right? Because if they weren't, because a guy like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. with his $50 million, that he's willing, in order to further his agenda, pay people to come and talk about how bad it is to get a vaccine, all that kind of stuff, right? So they're trying to ferret out people, to come forward. And if there were this large number of people, or if this thing was that dangerous, you would have droves of people by now, right? Because you've got millions of people who've been vaccinated, but you don't see those numbers, right? So what's bearing out is the science that came out that said that, here are side effects. Yep, there are some adverse reactions that people have, but those are, in terms of the overall numbers, they're marginalized. But if you do have it, then this is the precaution that you take. You call your doctor, you do these kinds of things. And to prevent yourself from being in that category in the first place, talk to your doctor and see whether or not you're allergic to anything that's in the vaccine. Right? So all of those things are now happening. They're taking place. I think the hysteria is dying down now. The other thing is more black people are starting to take it. Not the numbers that we would like, but more taking it. And so the more that take it, the more confidence will build. Right? Because you'll now know somebody who took it. You'll realize that they didn't die because they took the vaccine. And then it'll lead you to say, okay, that person took it. Everything seems to be okay. Maybe I'll inch closer to taking it. And that is the greatest fear of these anti-vaxxers, that that momentum will begin to win the day and people will become more, because then they'll become less relevant. And then, hopefully they'll just kind of fade into the abyss. So that is it. Vincent,
Yes.
are you scheduled to take the vaccine?
Oh, I was watching you on the feed. Sorry. But yeah, and oh, by the way, Mark Duncan, it's difficult for people to say Tom Brady without saying Patriots. My wife called out the Patriots, yay, Patriots, like 4 times, and I kept telling her they're the Buccaneers now. He's the Buccaneer now. But back to what is the statement? There are a couple of variations of masks, but now, people are erring heavily on the side of caution, especially on airlines. And it's strange that somebody who, has a huge, mask system with its own, breathing capacity or containment, that they would be thrown off of a flight. I want to look harder into that. I mean, I could see them wanting to get on a flight without a mask and being asked off, but getting on a flight, with, protection and, being discriminated. That's I don't want to make a decision without investigating it further. But also, there is, because I wear the two-ply mask, and I've been wearing it since the beginning because I thought the one-ply and the paper ones weren't very effective.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw one that's for athletes that has, a little, not breathing apparatus, but a breathing filter that you can replace the filter and covers the whole face, and it, like scuba gear, it seals the face, which, I think works really well too. So I'm actually investigating into getting one of those because I think the last report they're looking at us wearing masks well into 2022.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
I want to get back to. Oh, and I want to show you. So Diane knows this. Along with the ADOS stuff, and by the way, I'm telling you, I wear my mask, I wear my hoodie and everything, and like more and more people are stopping me, asking me where they can get them from, and so I got to figure out, whether if I'm going to do something with that. But I did start. I got the domain to for something I'm going to start called the 1619 Group, right? So 1619group.com. And so I've been playing around with logos, and I'm gonna see if I can put the logo up so you guys can check it out and give me your thoughts about it. But I want to create this website that curates content around 1619, right, and American descendants of slavery,
Yes.
right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it'd be a fantastic thing, and then have all kinds of folks involved in it. Just everyday people. Like, you can do little video vignette of experiences and other kinds of things. And we can get them up there, and we get some writers and stuff, and again, find content that already exists and put it up. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I think that that's very helpful. The problem that I see in terms of black African Americans, black people, is that they have, because of the stain of slavery itself, they have basically disenfranchised themselves from their history, and and they also don't research the rich contributions that black people have made to the American experience. Let's look at one of the biggest was George Washington Carver. Peanut butter is a $1 trillion industry, yet not one member of his family has gotten a dime to him making it. I mean, let's look at the guy who was I forget his name, was a slave, learned how to repair sewing machines, and from there designed the traffic light, which is all around the world, yet doesn't get a dime for that invention. I mean, so when we shy away from one part of history, we miss the richness of the rest. Yeah, but you look at, in terms of blacks in general, slavery was a minuscule part of black Americans' history. The rest of it is great. In sports, literature, movies, film, development, engineering. I mean, you when you take away that black history, then you take away also the history of our contributions that led from Africa. We were building castles before Europeans were building houses.
Right. Yeah.
So
So do you see the logo? Can you see it? I just put it up on the screen.
no, there's a little delay.
That's all right.
Yeah. No, on your feed it's just talking about getting the domain.
Oh, no. It'll show up in a second. I'll leave it up there. So, can we talk about the absence of Colin Kaepernick last night? So, in the overwhelming display of Black Lives Matter support from the NFL, right, including their pledge to contribute $250 million, right, and all the other things. They had Alicia Keys sing "Lift Every Voice and Sing," and they had all kinds of other stuff go on, right, and they just talked about, and then they had the young poet laureate. Talk about highlight individuals. So they did all of that stuff. But here's a guy, Colin Kaepernick, who was ostracized, vilified. He was. They colluded, right, to blacklist him, right. And nobody's talking about that, right? So the thing that he talked about, the NFL now is saying, hey, we're going to do this thing, but we're not going to apply. I would love for them now to go back and to revisit the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, right? That the NFL does it, opens it up to a transparent conversation around Colin Kaepernick. And I would also love for them to have him become some sort of an ambassador, right? So even if he doesn't quarterback for another NFL team, right? Colin Kaepernick should be the cornerstone, right, of whatever initiatives the NFL, the nonprofit, the organization takes toward in any sort of social justice issues. Colin Kaepernick should be there.
Well, Colin Kaepernick, to me, in my opinion, he's the new Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, as he protests, the Vietnam War, as he protests the blacks, experience. He's like, why should I fight them when I'm living with my enemy? And taking a stand, using the platform that he has, being the heavyweight champion, and taking a stand against social injustice. Colin Kaepernick did the exact same thing, with the exact same results. I mean, we're talking about a man who has immense talent and has sacrificed and dedicated his life to the sport and being the best and top player in his field. Yet you're looking at billionaires being bullied by a president. And then they took it away. They took the whole narrative away from standing up against black injustice to him kneeling at the flag, and riled up a whole lot of people who didn't know why he was standing. All they knew was that they were upset that he was kneeling to a flag.
Right, but I'm saying so yeah, all of that happened. I'm simply saying when we looked yesterday at how the NFL, when they decide to use their platform, right, when they decide to do it, what they can do, what they can accomplish, and
the words, their platform.
I understand. I'm not. Right.
Want to do.
I'm not arguing that it's not their platform. I'm simply saying that I want people to be.
Kaepernick is a closed deal, and they shut him up.
But I want people to be aware. All I'm saying is I want people to be aware, right? So, you've got you had them do what they did yesterday, but the reason we go all the way back where Colin was saying, "Hey, we got a problem." Black people are being gunned down, or bottom people. I apologize. Bottom people are being gunned down, right? Bottom people are being disproportionately imprisoned. Bottom people are being, all of these issues are happening, and we need to address them. And so I want to use my platform, he said, right, as a member of the NFL, where I know I have this large audience who's watching me, and I want to take this stand against it by taking a knee. And they said no. Now the NFL made the decision that, well, okay, so now after all these things have happened, they say, you know what, we recognize all of the things that Colin Kaepernick said are true, but we're not going to recognize that Colin Kaepernick, when he said it, was, so maybe they'll put him on a $20 bill in 50 years or 100 years, I don't know. But I just, he was conspicuously absent from any conversation.
Well, he would have to be. If you blackball somebody, you can't bring them back and set them on a pedestal and say thank you for letting them.
Well, sure, you can apologize.
Bring you back.
No, you can apologize.
I thought that was the apology, or the white accepted apology, when they put him on ESPN and honored him in his contributions.
I told you, they gave us Obama. Stop asking for stuff. Enough of it. Enough.
So Jody says she saw the logo, the 1619. Jody says she saw the 1619 group logo. She says she likes it. I'm gonna take it and get a couple of sweatshirts printed and just wear them around. And I'm gonna get something up on the website in the next 3 or so weeks, just a splash page to kind of say what it is I'm trying to build. And hopefully, because it's something that I'm not trying to do by myself at all. But if I can find a group of people who see value in curating and posting content that is relevant to this, then I would welcome them as content creators or curators. So and that's kind of what it's going to say on the site. Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Why not?
Why not? What do we have to lose?
What do we have to lose? Everything.
What do we have to lose?
So, talking about what you can lose, Wendy Williams.
Oh, God.
So much.
Oh, God.
Just posted up on YouTube a couple of days ago that she's looking to win love. So who wants to win Wendy's heart? You can sign for a date with Wendy.
That sounds more like a threat.
What'd you say, Eric? That's a train wreck?
No, it sounds like a threat.
I said it was a train wreck.
Oh, a train wreck.
That sounds like a threat, man. I mean, I don't see anything appealing about that. Call or go.
Hey, just wanted to make a quick comment on the Colin Kaepernick thing. First, whatever the arbitration agreement they settled on, might prohibit showing his likeness or image or anything of that nature. And Colin Kaepernick, we can't put all the blame on the NFL. And Colin Kaepernick, they didn't report on it. A lot of his union brothers, or the people he was in the union with, what he was doing was going against their politics as well. And in large numbers, when you don't get support from your own union, you pass out. Excuse my language, but you out And when Colin Kaepernick was standing up against the segregation, 'cause that's what it is. If the police don't have to honor any of your rights, you are segregated. And see, when Colin Kaepernick took his stand and was so powerful, they are not. He'll be long gone off of this planet before they admit that they were wrong in any way. You know, because it wasn't just the NFL that he was going against. It was his own union brothers that should have, and he didn't. The union didn't file the grievance on his behalf. He didn't win no court case. There was an arbitration. I keep telling people there was an arbitration that they both settled on, that no wrongdoing was done. So,
well, if I could give you a little.
I quickly, you can talk after I get off. They both admitted no wrongdoing. So, and for them now to bring him back in the fold would admit to wrongdoing, and there's nothing preventing him from reestablishing all his losses. But that's neither here nor there. But go ahead, Vincent. I'm out of here. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing? Before you go, and Vincent, I want to hear your take on it. What did you think about the Super Bowl last night, Mike? Oh, he hung up. All right, go ahead, Vincent.
Well, as I understand it, the players' union in the beginning of it, as it was starting to gain a lot of momentum and awareness, the players' union was all in support of it. That's why you saw it getting to the point where every player got on the line, arm in arm, and took a knee. Trump began to punk out the owners, and they went under the guidelines of uniformity with it. So they came up with, okay, you know, because in the beginning, Jerry Jones got out there and stood on the line arm in arm with the players. And so once Trump started punking out them, telling them that, okay, the United States government pays X amount of dollars to the NFL, we're going to remove that money, that's when, you know, it started getting the pushback. And once it started pushing back on money, then everybody started to now let them radicalize and demonize Colin.
So like I said, he was conspicuously missed yesterday in all of the fanfare about, you know, social justice and the like.
But see, here's the thing. It's like what Diane said, you know, they gave us, you know, the NFL, they gave us this young black woman who spoke at Biden's inauguration to render a poem. Oh, they gave us Alicia Keys singing the national anthem. They gave us all of these other little things which, you know, were supposed to appease or soothe or lull blacks into that false sense of inclusion.
Look,
And
they didn't have to tease us with anything. We're going to keep watching. We're going to keep watching regardless. It doesn't matter. They can give us a bone, not give us a bone, give us a steak, not give us a steak. We're going to keep watching. That's the problem, and they know that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Because, I mean, as boring as the Super Bowl was, I didn't see one black. All the black people that I was chatting with, you know, were not turning off their TVs.
No.
So they're going to watch regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, you know, one thing that we should do, because now it's starting to, like, everybody is taking a breath, you know, now that Biden's in office, and that's the wrong thing to do. I think we need to continue to keep our foot on the gas. Keep pushing. Don't wait till another kid gets shot, or wait to, you know, another redneck attacks the White House, or, you know, or any of that. No, keep our foot on the gas.
Got the foot on the gas. Ain't nobody got the foot on the gas. Ain't nobody going nowhere.
Ain't nobody in a car. Wait a minute, Diane. We don't have a.
We're stagnant. The damn gas been ran out.
We don't have a car.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem that we have to address as black people. We are not together. We don't stick together. We are stagnant. No gas in the car, Vincent. Ain't nowhere to push the pedal to.
There's no
Can't go
car.
nowhere.
Forget about gas. There's no car.
We ain't got no car. We still on the bus.
We still sitting in the back of the bus.
We ain't on no bus either.
With pride.
We're not
In the
moving.
back of the bus with pride.
We're singing the spiritual in the back of the bus. We shall. No.
Out thinking that there's something that's not. It's not. It's not enough people willing to even get gas together. Nobody want to put their pennies together to get $1 worth of gas. They ain't doing it.
If you're not man enough to fight for what you deserve, then you deserve exactly what you get. Nothing.
And that's what they're getting. The elections shows it on the local levels. People complained about street parking. People complained about snow removal. We get it because we deserve it, because nobody wants to fight. Everybody takes what they give you. And they keep it pushing.
That's a sad state of being, and I hope that state of being ends.
That's what you should be talking about. How to end the sad state of being that people are in. That's the better conversation. But to give the illusion that there's a foot on the gas and we trying to get somewhere, ain't nobody trying to get nowhere. Ain't nobody trying to get nowhere.
Well, on another note, in terms of people keeping their foot on the gas, they are now vetting in the next candidates. They're looking at bringing in more Republicans losing their seats for the midterm Senate races. So it should be heating up pretty much in the next 6 months.
Another illusion. So you thought putting Green off of her committee seats was going to make a difference. But all of those Republicans, but 11, stood with her. You know why? Because they believe the same thing that she is able to vocally say that they're scared to say out loud. So they're willing to sacrifice her, but they're going to support her. Because they think the same way she does.
I'm thinking that they're focusing on those 70 million yahoos that voted. And
70 million people support all those other Republicans that supported her not to be put off her committee seats.
Yes, but 81 million voters support her removing her.
81 million came out and voted. 81 million did not support Biden. Let's tell the truth.
Okay, and the same thing we can say that 74 million voted, but supported Trump. No, I think that not all of them supported Trump. I think that a lot of them just voted for Trump, and or voted Republican, not voted Trump. Just like we have a lot of black people who vote Democrat, but not support Biden. And so, we have to say that, okay, the numbers, if you're looking at the numbers are now going for the fundamental, doing the fundamental right, or not the right wing, but the right cause.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see who seats get overturned and who doesn't. We'll see Republicans gain more seats than the Democrats lose it.
Yeah.
Look, to me, guys, like I listen to this, and the more I listen to it, and I did the ad. Diana finally, asked me to do it. Well, she didn't finally ask; she asked me to do it, and I finally did it. The ad announcing the
everything you say, but go ahead.
Announcing the our book club and cast, which will be going over on the 11th in a couple of days, right? Look, the thing that I realized through my fifth read of this book is that we're sitting here talking about seats. Well, who's going to win these seats? Who's going to win these seats? Who's going to win? There's a bigger, and we've talked about it before, that there's this bigger fight that's going on. It has nothing to do with us. And it really has to do with what Biden said about restoring the soul of America, or Donald Trump said, make America great again, or the rest of people who want to harken back to the greatness of America, when America was, where it was clearly defined, right, who the majority was, who the upper caste was, who the despised caste was, right, when all of those things were in place. Right now, they're in flux. And so the seats that are the people are jostling for are not to shift power. Like at the highest levels, these seats they're like pawns, all of them, by the ruling class to just reorder, right, things to get them back the way that they used to be. That is the battle. And so I would say, I'm sorry.
Clubhouse, Eric. They say they're resetting the room.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're resetting it. That's all they're doing. That is all they're doing. And I'm telling you, even listen to the language, the actual language, or the code. Not the language. Listen to the code within the language. See, not the language, but the code within the language of those people who are vying for these seats. They're not looking to shift. They're not looking to shift the current infrastructure. They're not. And just so remember, like a year or so ago, where I said that we're in hospice mode, right? That there's no power that's being gained at all. None. Zero. None. And the only way that that's going to happen is through a civil war. I'm convinced of that. Because you have people who, for generations, are accustomed to things being the way that they have been for them, that has led to their successes, to them feeling comfortable about America, and then them seeing more immigrants coming over, them seeing that they're going to be in the minority at some point, and them seeing people taking their jobs, sitting in universities where their children or grandchildren, in those seats where their children and grandchildren should sit. All of those things are unsettling. It's unsettling to them. And they just want things back to the way that it was. And that is happening from the ruling class that controls the airwaves, that controls the social media platforms, even the ones that we air on, right? That have the money. They have it all.
Well, I mean, on the same focus of wanting things, the way that you want them. I mean, I want to be 6'8" and playing in the NBA, but that's not happening. Nor is the fact that African Americans, black people, are looking to go back. And I understand, Eric. I understand it. Yes, when black people are seeking power, for white people that means no more power, and they're pushing back from that. But I am sorry, like the dinosaur, it is about to be extinct.
No, but hear what I'm saying to you, Vincent. I'm not saying that we're gonna go. Let us be clear. I don't think that we're gonna go back to a plantation where a master is or a plantation owner is whipping
We're
on.
We're already on that.
No. Here, okay.
But go ahead.
Right. So going back, what I'm saying is this: we're looking at what we saw before and saying we don't want to go back to those things that were in the past. I'm saying it's new, it's different, but at the same time it's the same. Meaning that and that's why it's so very important to say, no matter what it looks like, whether it's a massive house with slave quarters on the property and cotton fields and tobacco fields, right? That's one look, right? So go back to the Matrix, right? So this is how it looks now with the code. Then it can look like this, right? Now it looks like if you saw, like I said, the docudrama Social Dilemma, right? That's what it looks like now. Right, where your kid is on the couch and being fed information, and they are the commodity and the future that's being traded on, right? So it looks different, right? So he's on the couch, so you figure, oh, he's safe. He's not on a plantation. He doesn't have master with a bullwhip, right, greased up and ready to tear hide off his back, but still he's enslaved. right? So it looks different. So when you say go back, I'm going, oh, dude, they're retooling it, or resetting the room, as Diane said. They're resetting the room.
Well, basically, the only thing they're doing is renovating the room with same cast. So that's what I mean by not going back. You can reset the room all you want. However, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not ready to go back. I'm ready to push forward.
Eric, are you as confused as I am when Vincent starts to talk?
Well, yeah, I'm just like, so look, Vincent. I don't think that anybody's going back. I don't think that they're trying to take you back. They're just trying to reset the room, right? So they want to make it. So when they say make it great again, right, or restore the soul of, it's not saying taking you back to any place, right? It's simply saying just confirm the order of things. Right? And the order of things are that we have a caste system which has the preferred, the dominant, right? The superior caste. And then we have the despised, the lower, and the bottom caste. That's it. That's it. And so to make sure that everybody is clear on that, right? Is everybody okay? Does everybody get that that's where it is? And that's what they're doing. So it doesn't have to be, like I said, on a physical plantation with, cotton and tobacco and all that kind of stuff. It is, are you still marginalized? Are you still at the bottom when it comes to everything? And if you are, and then if the ruling class is now comfortable knowing that everybody knows their place again.
Okay, now when I say go back, I'm not saying go back to slavery and plantation, although we still have acts of slavery and plantation. What I'm saying is go back to the reconstructive era, where there was, of course, the reconstruction of supposed to be the blacks, but what it was the reconstruction and the rebuilding of the South, in which they developed the caste system of grading. I mean, literally, and legislatively giving dictation to how much power you can do because of the roadblocks and obstacles in your way to achieve it. I'm saying go back to that point where it was easier for the ruling parties to rule based on their color alone, and even they had levels of hierarchy. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying go back to.
So we're there though. What do you mean? You say go back? We're there. We're everything that you just described. We're there, right now.
Thank you. That's what I was saying earlier.
So I'm not. So when you say go back, I'm saying we're there.
Mm-hmm. Well, some people say that we're there, and some people don't believe it and want to push us there further. Yet we are that are not there. Whenever we can turn Georgia from a dominantly red senator to now a dominantly blue, we are moving forward.
I can't.
Okay.
Can't.
Call it go.
I can't. Jody, please save me before I start cussing again.
Here's the thing, right? You said it yourself. You said legislative. So why your boy ain't sitting on that floor yet?
I can't, Jody, you're breaking up. I can't hear what you're saying.
Jody, he couldn't hear you.
I'm going to just use your words against you, right? You said when there was a change, allegedly, I don't know what that change was, right? But anyway, you said it was legislatively. So I'm going to ask you again why you talked about the soul of America. Why he ain't putting nothing on that floor yet? Every week I can actually call you that. Why is he ain't putting nothing on that floor yet? I'm repeating it over and over again. If he was so dedicated to changing the soul of America, why hasn't he put John Lewis still on the floor yet? So that Stacey Abrams didn't have to slice and dice again to save him again, right? Why wouldn't he put that on the floor? Why wouldn't he put the George Floyd bill on the floor, right? As he tries to save the soul of America. If we recognize the very minimal that the only thing that will actually save the soul has never been saved, right? It's just Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid, and that's why we're here in this precarious situation as a people today, right? Why isn't he trying to make legislative changes to give you your whole voice and brain?
Well, I can't answer that question because I'm not Joe Biden.
Does it disturb you that he's not?
Yes, I am not Joe Biden.
No, but I'm saying, does it disturb you that he is not moving in the direction that Jody is talking about?
No, it doesn't disturb me.
Okay.
Why? Because we haven't even gotten to 100 days yet.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. So at 100 days, if he
can I now answer Jody's question?
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is this. Right now, he has a strong focus on not on the souls of America. Yes, because he said that in his campaign. But one of the big things that is taking a great deal of his attention is getting some level of stability with the coronavirus. So getting that bill passed right now is consuming his time. And I'm sure that the other bills that were on the floor and some other bills dating back to 2002 that have been sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk because he won't bring them up shall move.
No, I got all of that, Vincent. But my question to you is simple. And then we got another caller. But my question is this. So you said we haven't gotten past 100 days. So what I'm going to ask is this. If we get to 100 days and he still hasn't moved legislatively, will that be a problem for you then?
If we get to 100 days and he hasn't moved legislation, then I'm going to actually, put my pedal down more. I'm going to start organizing.
No. Yes or no? Would it be a problem?
Please, you can't.
No, but I'm asking you. But right, because you're being long-winded, Vincent. Yes or no? But I'm just asking yes or no.
Can you guys take turns jumping on me?
No. But Vincent, I'm asking a simple question that doesn't require a political answer. Yes or no? Would it at 100 days? Would it bother you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, that was it. That was all. Call or go.
But in answer to also the other part to that, Eric, is not only the fact that it would bother me, but I'm going to take action.
Oh no, I get that. No, that's fine. But I just wanted to know if it would bother you. I get that you would take action. If it would bother you, then yes, I would assume that you would take action. Call or go.
Hey, the game was just like I expected it. I'm sorry I hung up so fast on you, but I had to pull over again. But the game was fine. It went just as I expected. The battle was always on the line. The people on the front line were more powerful on the defensive side of the ball for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Vincent, your recounting of the events with Colin Kaepernick is backwards. And from a legal, I was speaking from a legal standpoint on why they can't bring him back in the fold that easy. But the larger issue that I stopped and pulled over against is because what you're thinking is a little backwards on you. You're saying that you don't want to go back, but that's your thinking. You have a backwards sense of because you don't want to go back, you're not heering the whole message.
No. Let's make it clear.
Let me finish.
You're misquoting me. I didn't say I don't want to. I said I'm not going to.
I said your events of what happened with Colin Kaepernick were backwards. And it led me to think that a lot of what you're doing is backwards in your thinking. Because you went on to say that you didn't want to go back. Nobody's talking about going back. Eric didn't bring up going back. And so forth and so on. But this mythical...
you missed that part of the conversation.
Hold on. No. I listen very well. But your mythical approach to what things are is confusing you to what is actually going on. These people are messing with people's heads. As we under a serious, they've cast a serious spell on us that we are gonna somehow catch up with people that's 400-500 years ahead of us, and it's not gonna happen. We have to start dismantling the whole system. If they're not going to recognize the damage that has been done from the past, you got to dismantle that system. Don't mess around with it. Act like you're going to be inclusive in it. Don't play. And this backwards way of thinking, that's what Diane is like. What the hell am I supposed to? I'm confused here.
Well,
First
and foremost, I mean, I'm thinking the bulk of this conversation is about dismantling that system. So I don't think that I'm going. If we're agreeing upon that, then I'm not going backwards or thinking backwards. The other issue is that in making it short, I guess maybe giving some people some people are not picking it up the way I'm putting it down. But I don't have a problem in elaborating it. It's just a simple fact that, there are a lot of different people now wanting more explanation. So I think, Diane, you were next.
Oh, wow. Diane, I'm going to just right? So it's really strange. I think this is what is like mind-boggling about your thought process, right? One was the Colin Kaepernick conversation, but earlier Eric said something else, right? And you were able to touch twice in this conversation where you blame Donald Trump for something, right? You were able to, like, specifically, and you go into detail, and you're like, so we're going to blame Donald Trump for the NFL debacle, and you blame him for something earlier, right?
Because that's what Donald Trump did.
Very, very, very cool. And goes basically switches to words of soul of America. You're like a cartoon commercial, right? And you just like roll it out all of these hopeful, wishful, loving, kumbaya moments when it comes to the failure of the other side, right? That's why you get attacked, because it's so not legit, right? The greatest problem I find with you, and listen, I called in, and I emphasize you and narrow down and let's get rid of Trump thing, right? And then I moved on, but he's gone. And talking about him is basically messaging. You're like, this weekend, meet the press. It was a few of them this weekend, where instead of capturing an issue and trying to rectify that issue, we continue to blame Donald Trump. To tell you that we're looking at right now, here and now, every day, and that becomes like a cartoon commercial where all in your mind. You're talking to a different audience, right? But in your mind, you're talking to some black hopeful person that wants to hear things like, oh, they want to hear that word. They want to hear soul of America. It makes them all emotional and mushy and believing, right? When the start issue is that Donald Trump did not create the issue that happened to Bob Kaepernick. For the entire process of people who would rather speak, as Eric is saying, the bottom class, stay exactly where it is, created that moment with Colin Kaepernick, right? That you can't tell me, why would you say you want to wait 100 days for someone to move for your interest? That you would give him 100 days to move towards your interest. So if a black man is murdered by a police officer tonight, what would you say? That I'm waiting?
Jody, can we do this? Because Jody, can you just ask one question at a time and let me address it?
I've been doing this with you for a while. I just had a statement.
Well, but your statement is full of questions. So if you could just do one at a time, and let's have a dialogue.
Okay, you're gonna say the same thing. Maybe I'm hearing it now.
Jody, if you ask a question about it, then and you already know the answer, then why ask the question?
Well, it was a rhetorical question.
I didn't ask you a question. I made a statement. I don't have to question you anymore. I don't understand it. I'm hoping that one day you will, a Vincent will, instead of wanting to answer these questions with messaging statements, that Vincent will wake the hell up and be willing to say that stop getting us. And when I said, hey, I didn't put it on the floor yet, you shouldn't say because he's an idiot. And he is no different in the establishment that he comes from. Under that establishment, Democrat. That establishment has no party. That establishment has no party. It has no side. They are both. When it comes to the establishment, they definitely have something to hoop at one pole. And that is people like that the boss, right? And because he says so of marriage doesn't mean. And he's not connected to us.
Well, here is the issue that I have with your statement. It's called kitchen sinking, where you throw in everything, including the kitchen sink. So in the point of addressing it, you don't know where to start. If you do have an issue with understanding my point, my comment, my narrative, then simply ask me one question and give me an opportunity.
Right. So I'm gonna sum it up. Then I'll sum it up, Vincent. But I'll sum it up. And I think that this is what. So I think a lot of the questions were really rhetorical. She wasn't looking for an answer, right? But I think that the theme of it is, why are we waiting? Right? One of the things that we talked about leading up to the election, and it's interesting, I'm looking at Dave Tucker. Welcome back into the feed, Mr. Tucker. Hope your wife is doing well. Dave says, Joe Biden is nothing but a white Obama. There will be no legislation moved to help minority communities. This is what Dave Tucker says, right? So we talked about whether I played Killer Mike's video where he said, how long will we have to wait? How long, we're not waiting anymore. This is urgent. We got to get this done. Nina Turner said the same thing. We got to get this done. Black communities are suffering, or bottom people are suffering. We got to get this done. And I think that what Jody is saying is why with Biden are you willing to wait? I think that's the question. Out of everything, out of all of the rhetorical questions, I think that she's trying, and me too, right? Like, why we're going, okay, so now this is day whatever, but it's still not 100 days yet. Okay, this is day whatever. And so I think that one question that Jody asked is if a young boy was murdered in our community, would you just say, okay, well, we'll just kind of wait, or would you mobilize to ensure that the outcome was what you demanded? Or would you just wait and see? Given the history. See, if there was history that supported...
Eric, you're going off. Can we get to the one question?
No,
Let me address the one question.
But this is the question.
Please.
But this is the question.
Okay,
I'm just
give me the question,
Vincent,
and then let's go into it.
Vincent, but I'm framing.
Yes.
I'm just framing the question. That's all I'm doing is framing it. It's still one question. Why wait?
Okay. Well, here is the answer to why wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why wait? Because of the simple fact of this. You look at the leader of the free world has a lot on his plate. You look at the most major important thing, and when there's a lot on your plate, when everybody has a lot on their plate, they prioritize.
Perfect.
And the most important thing right now is the virus.
He can only do
and
one thing at a
taking care-
time?
and taking care of that. Now, and he's doing great things. And let's see what happens after this.
But he can only do
bill.
one thing at a
And
time?
Why did I say, and let me get to the heart or to the exact nature of the question. Why wait 100 days is relatively simple. And because we sat up here and we waited 4 years.
No, forget about Trump.
No,
Trump ain't got nothing to do with it.
let me answer the
Trump ain't got
question.
nothing to do with it.
We waited.
Trump
We
ain't got
waited
nothing to do with it.
4 we waited
Trump has
4
nothing to do
years.
with this.
We waited 4
Trump
years
has
for that
nothing to
jackass
do with
to do
this.
something, and
So
he did nothing.
I knew it was a matter of time.
100 days,
Look,
everybody's impatient. Really?
I knew that it was
People.
listen, I knew it was a matter of time. See, this is crazy, right? Because I thought that we'd be like 3 years into Biden, and then we'd be like, well, but Trump did, so we're already doing that now, right? So this is a preamble to what's going to occur for the rest of Biden's administration. Well, take this because Trump did that. Accept this because Trump did that. Oh, no, we're not gonna hold Biden accountable because you didn't hold Trump accountable in this way. You didn't. No. This is Biden's administration now. And what I'm saying to you is this. And you use the key word priority, right? And so black people. He wanted black people to have his back, and he said, I'm going to have yours, right? Priority. And I'm going, can he walk and chew gum at the same time? So you're saying that he is all consumed over here. So he can't fight on more than one front at a time. So all of the people that he's appointing and all of these brilliant folks that he's bringing in, or maybe he lacks the acumen to bring the right people in who can walk and chew gum at the same time. Maybe that's the issue. But if you're saying to me that we need to let him operate in a silo right now, right? And nothing else is going to get done.
Not my comment.
You said his priority was this. Let him do this, and then we'll get to that. And I'm going, can he walk and chew gum?
That does not mean that he operates in a silo.
Can-
We have priorities in our lives, and we address
Not-
the priorities. But don't we, in the course of addressing that priorities, don't we take care of other issues really briefly or micromanage them at the same time?
Right. So what I'm saying is
So
this.
Can we let him do that? Because right now, everybody is focused on that, or a lot of people are focused on that priority.
Right. I don't care about other people. I don't care about other people. And I'm sorry, right? I don't care about right now, given the issues facing the most despised group here in America. I don't care. Deal with us. The most despised through the history of this country.
Therein lies the thing. Okay, now we got it.
What do you?
Now I got it. But go ahead, Jody, because I know you've been waiting.
What it'll be in 100 days is again the messaging, right? That's 100 days. That's messaging per administration, what they do in 100 days. In 100 days, what you're going to hear from Vincent is, well, he did this, right? He did this for COVID, and that is hard for us to fight. And he did this for whatever, and that we got to feed off of that as black people, right? That's messaging. That is the most alarming thing about your conversation. Is you're like a big commercial for the Democratic Party as a whole. So you hating for them to give you some more messaging. In 100 days, they'll spew off what he allegedly did that helped the country, right? And then you'll still tell us that we stifled off some of the remnants of that, and that puts us forward. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about the lowest class, well, as Eric said, the most despised portion of this country, right? We don't have time for that, right? We don't have time for politics as usual. We don't have time for messaging, and you are still on the fence. And until you do, right, really take hope and responsibility for your community and the people in it, you won't be able to let go of the messaging.
Two points to your statement, Jody. First, I'm impressed with your acute ability of precognitive development, where you can actually predict what I'm going to say in 100 days when I don't even know what's going to happen. The second thing is this. No. Let me finish, Jody. Let me finish. The second thing, Jody, I cannot be a commercial for the Democratic Party, because when you are a commercial for them, you're getting paid, and I haven't gotten a freaking dime.
That's bullshit, right? You're playing bullshit, you're playing with words, and that's cool. That is cool, because I am only making that assumption based off of who you've been from the beginning. Not just gave you last week on messaging you gave. It was last week, well, we're getting something off of this, we're getting something off of that, when in all reality, if it is not focused, if black people are hurting, the vote for this man, if we put him in office, if you are so quick to talk about Stacey Abrams' wounds and battles he went through, right, to encourage those black people to vote for this man, then we should be his first priority. Don't get fans about that. There can be no messaging in the middle of that. If we put him there, then we should be his first priority.
Here's Jody. Here's what my challenge is, right? Here's what my challenge is right now. Well, a couple things. And these are words out of Joe Biden's mouth. Joe Biden said when he was asked by George Stephanopoulos about executive orders, he said, no, we should be doing things through consensus, through Congress, right? Through the Senate. And now, you guys have to call back. I don't know, all my phone calls dropped. Please call back. But he said that we're doing things through that. This is how we should do them. And now he's got 40 plus executive orders. Here's the question that I have. All of the people, right, who are representing our interests, so supposedly representing our interests, the Stacey Abrams of the world, the Hakeem Jeffries of the world, right? The rest of these folks. Hold on. Hello? Okay. Let's see if I can get Vincent back on. I apologize, guys. I don't know. My phone is acting up again. But with all of these folks who are supposed to be protecting our interests, right? My question is, where are they? What are they? What do they have to say about what's going on, or do they look and subscribe to the same thing that Vincent does, which is we're just going to sit and wait, or are they actively participating in some of the things that Joe Biden is working on? Let's see if I can pick this up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my phone. But anyway, so my question that I asked Vincent, because I know there'll be a delay, is where are like the Stacey Abrams, Hakeem Jeffries of the world, the Congressional Black Caucus, Clyburn, all of these, where are these voices around the issues, right? Because, during the campaign, there was all this talk about, the pain of the bottom caste here in America. And I don't hear them now. I don't hear any of those voices now. I don't hear the sense of urgency anymore, right? There's just, everything is just, so to me, remember I keep talking about this water boiling? It's like they put it back on simmer now.
Well, I don't think that the voices in which you were talking about, they are still prevalent. What we're finding out is that those voices are not considered priority to the media. Talking and moving and doing. Clyburn is still gaining and working right now in the House. I mean, he is the majority whip. You don't think he has his hands full?
Oh my God.
So wait a minute. So you're saying, wait a minute. So I want to get this clear. So you're saying that the media has decided not to make them priority.
Correct.
Okay, so
Because looking at Stacy's Facebook and Instagram, she's still active and still doing
okay,
her
no,
thing.
no, 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 no. Let's follow this for a second, right? Because remember I told you about resetting. So the media that was willing to parade them during the course of the campaign, right, in order to corral black people, right? So that same media that was willing to put Stacey Abrams on, or Clyburn on, or Hakeem Jeffries on, or we can keep going through all of the black faces that they put on the media, right? You're saying that that same media now has turned against the bottom caste because they're not now giving these same prominent black folk.
No,
Well,
no.
what are you saying?
No,
I want to be
that's not what
clear.
I'm saying.
I want to be clear.
I'm saying, let me be clear.
Mhm.
The media consists of hitting the news with a level of reporting and commentary, correct?
Sure.
And the media, the news, is driven by one, information base, and two, ratings, correct?
No. Get to your point. Because because
So right now, the election is over. And right now, in terms of the media, they're focusing on the promises. They are focusing on the cure. They're focusing on the actions that he's taken because of the
No,
inaction
okay.
of a
So I want to get back to it again. So
Okay.
based on what you just said, so they want to focus on a cure. So the problem during the election was how bottom people were being treated. That was a problem. And that's why they brought, wait a minute. And then they wanted to highlight that, and I kept saying they want to emotionalize, right, the servants in the slave quarters by bringing all of these people on to talk about the problem, right, without really talking about the problem. So they weren't really, let me finish, and then you can have it. And they kept saying the problem was Donald Trump. And I kept saying, no, the problem's not Donald Trump. The problem is baked into the very DNA of this country. And if we're not focused on that, only on focus on stopping Donald Trump, then we're not really addressing the problem, right? And so they were highlighting Trump. Then they were bringing these black faces on to tell black people, you need to come out and stop Donald Trump. And here on this show, I kept pounding the drum. It ain't about Trump. Trump is simple. It's about all this other stuff. So now, like I said, in my opinion, the way I see it, the media has now turned the heat down on the pot to a simmer again, right? And you say that they're addressing the problem. But the problem, and this is where Diane and I are saying they're resetting the room. If the problem is this caste system, the problem is the infrastructure that is supporting all of this. Tell me how the media is addressing that.
Okay. Now that you set up the most confusing question in my freaking life,
Really?
let me address that. Now, you want to know, again, how is the media now addressing because of the caste system?
No, you said the media is addressing the problem. What's the problem?
Okay,
What is the problem?
Wait. Okay, I said the media is addressing the problem.
Right. What is the problem?
Now, the problem that the media was addressing pre-election was the simple fact that we had a president who paid no attention while hundreds of thousands of people were dying. Right?
Oh my goodness!
Now, the media was addressing the problem in saying that, okay, for us to get rid of this guy, it is going to take these bottom caste or people, whatever you want to call us, and I'm going to still say black, okay, and their votes would be needed to get in someone who will work on the problem.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
Now that
Wait a minute. What's the problem?
Wait. The big problem that everybody's worried about is COVID-19.
Oh my goodness! All right, done. All right.
The big problem that everybody was waiting on was COVID-19. Now, COVID-19, why was it the big problem that everybody was waiting on? Because COVID-19 pulled the Band-Aid off of all the other stuff that people were tired of, like dealing with the caste system, dealing with racial injustice, dealing with thematic and
All right, done. Okay, got it. No, you answered my question. Vincent, Vincent, you don't have to keep going. No, that's okay. Vincent answered the question. So the problem, wait a minute. So Vincent answered the question. Thank you for answering. Vincent said the big problem that bottom people have is COVID-19. Let's move on, guys. We got.
Oh no. That's the big problem that America
No,
has.
that wasn't my question then. Wait a minute, stop. Vincent, no, whoa. No, Vincent. No, Vincent, no. Because I gave you the, no. Vincent, stop it. Vincent, I'm not going to allow you to do that. Vincent, no. Vincent, I asked you a very specific question, gave you a chance to run your mouth and answer it, and I asked you what the problem was for bottom people, and you said COVID.
Right now, COVID.
Okay. There we go. Got it. I got it. That's what I said. So I got it. So listen.
You can't. So tell me right now, what are black people facing? Give me 3 things that they are facing that does not have a play or a link to what we're experiencing with COVID.
He's not satisfied.
Tell me.
Wow.
So
No, answer my question.
Stop screaming. Let's start with that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Okay, no. Diane, I'm going to answer him. Right? Ready, Vincent?
Answer.
So prior,
Yes.
I'm getting ready to
I'm
answer.
waiting.
Quiet.
Okay. So prior to COVID, Vincent, we were moving in a direction of an apartheid state. Wait a minute, Vincent. No, wait a minute. You said answer your question.
Yes.
Prior to COVID, we're facing down zero wealth in the black community by 2053. Prior to COVID.
I've said doing it right now, not prior to, right
No,
now.
but no, my...
Down to you. R-A-T now.
Vincent?
Yes.
Right. So what I'm saying to you is extract COVID. We were
I'm not saying extract
No,
COVID.
listen.
I'm saying right now.
Vincent, right now, I say right now, not right now, but right now, Vincent, right? You want to see? So here's the thing.
Not answering the question.
No,
Eric.
I am answering the question, but you keep yelling and interrupting me, right? And when I try to make points, you go, Eric, wait, no. Allow me the space to answer.
Okay, then answer the question.
Vincent, right? So
Yes.
what's impacting us right now are all of the underlying things. All of those things, Vincent. Because guess what? When COVID is resolved, all of those things are going to be there, leaving us susceptible to the next thing. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So while you're focused on COVID, right? You're focused on this thing. I'm going, dude, do you realize all of the shit that's underneath it? Pull COVID back for a second and look at all the shit that's underneath it.
Okay.
COVID is COVID is the tip of the iceberg, Vincent, when it comes to what bottom people are susceptible to here because of our condition.
Okay, so Eric, can we not agree that the deaths of COVID should be a priority and then go on to the next? So you're saying that forget getting vaccine to...
No. Don't do that, Vincent. Don't do that, Vincent. Vincent, don't do that. Don't do that.
You're saying screw getting a vaccine. You're saying screw tell people to wear a mask because COVID isn't the issue. Right now it's the underlying things that's the issue.
Vincent, now you're being intellectually dishonest because you're losing the argument, right? Yeah, you are. When did I wait a minute.
You're saying remove COVID right now from the table.
That's not what
and let's get to
you know
the
what?
other issue so we can address the other issues. But because does it make sense if we address the other issues and people still die from COVID?
Vincent. Yeah, Vincent.
We stop listening.
Right. So you're screaming. You're screaming and you're...
So you're saying that we should address the underlying issues and still let people die of COVID. Forget COVID is what you're saying.
No. And see, even people in the thread, Vincent, and so it gets bad because people in the thread are now saying that just to win an argument, you're now being intellectually dishonest, right? I never said that. In fact, I started the show by showing people a better mask to wear. So stop it. Stop it. Don't ever say that I said that, Vincent. So what I'm saying to you is this.
What are you saying to me? So what are you saying?
Because you're talking.
Right, because you keep yelling and screaming, right? Because you'd rather be right than listen.
No. I want to get to the point, Eric. Get to it.
Okay? I got to the point, Vincent. What I said to you was this. I said I asked you, I said, what was the issue? What's the issue? What is the thing that they're trying to solve? Right? And you said COVID. Right? That's what you said. Those were your words. And I'm saying to you that the issues impacting bottom people, right, existed before COVID. And those issues, so these legislative things that Jody is talking about, that Biden needs to be moving on, that are actively putting us in perilous situations, including continuing to make us more susceptible to these new strains that are coming out, right? Address those.
Okay, so you're saying that
I said what I said. You don't have to repeat what I said. I just said it.
Again, you're saying that we should not address COVID, which is affecting blacks at a disproportionate rate.
Okay.
You're saying that we should address the other racial issues? Is that it?
Vincent,
You know what's funny, Diane, about Vincent?
He said
he said, in his and Eric's conversation, he said that Prosperous Clyburn was busy doing other things. But he did have time to say, let's make everybody the same.
See, but you know what, Jody, but you know what this conversation, what it does, when you go back and listen to Eddie Glaude, here is the challenge, right? So the challenge, and Dr. Eddie Glaude said it. See, if all we want to do is sit and put a picture of Donald Trump up on my screen and talk about him all day, that's easy to do. But see, once you start digging into the Democratic Party, once you start digging into other things, that's more complicated, right? Because it's been ingrained in us to be Democrat first, right? Or to believe in these things first. And when you start to try to extricate people from that dysfunctional relationship, it's challenging. And that's what Eddie Glaude kept saying. See, talking about that guy is easy. But when you want to now focus on all of the things that are baked in the very DNA of this country, that becomes more complicated.
So what you're saying,
I said what I said.
We should not focus on that. What you're saying, Eric, is that we should now, or the president should now work on the black issues that have been going on for 400 years and not focus on a virus that's killing black people.
Oh, no. So let me say this. Wait, no. Jody, allow me, Jody, allow me 30 more seconds.
Help me, okay? Understand that.
Allow me 30 more seconds. No, Diane, just give me 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds.
30 seconds.
So, 24 hours a day, all Biden can think about is the coronavirus? He can't take 2 hours?
I said it was a priority.
No.
I didn't say it was his
Wait.
right.
I said give me 30 seconds. I didn't say you take my 30 seconds. I said give me 30 seconds. All right?
Oh, okay.
There we go. Give me 30 uninterrupted seconds. So, what you're concluding by my statement when I say that Biden can walk and chew gum at the same time, you're saying, well, Eric, if he's doing anything other than this, then he's not prioritizing the coronavirus. And I'm asking you, can Biden, does he need 24 hours every single day? Can not 2 hours be focused on this other stuff? That's my 30 seconds.
Okay. Now, here's my 30-second
response. Just quick response. Can he focus 2 hours on something else?
Here's my 30-second response. Now, I did not say that Biden has to spend 24 hours a day focused on it. I said that the COVID was a priority. And yes, I said that he can walk and chew gum at the same time. And I said that those other things more than likely will be on the table. And that's why I'm giving that 100-day grace period.
Right, but I'm saying to you, out of today, carve 2 hours. Take 22 hours on COVID. Take 2 hours for me, goddammit. Hello. 2 hours.
Here, I'm waiting for your 30 seconds.
No, I don't need 30 for that.
Okay, and what I'm saying to you is this. We don't know if you're getting your 2 hours.
Oh, I know.
Right now, because I said it earlier, the narrative and information that we're getting is all about COVID. Now, what we don't know is what else he's putting to others. And that's my 30 seconds.
Oh, gosh. I can't.
Okay.
There's hours I will never regain.
So listen, we got 4 minutes. And guys, I'm telling you, time is ticking. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. Today is the 8th, right? We have 6 more days before Valentine's Day. There was an article that I read that said men thinking about gifts to get for their significant others, wives, or whatever, girlfriends, that thinking about getting something for Valentine's Day for them is the stress level is equivalent to that of an active duty person in the military who's in a war zone. That's the level of stress. What the hell? No.
It must have been the man who wrote that.
That's crazy though. But it was in New York Times. They like.
But it's true.
Yo.
It is true. It is true.
They said that the stress level is like that.
It is true. I mean, look.
Like incoming. Incoming. Oh, fire in the hole.
But, Eric, and this is why I see that it is a stress level. Do women dress for men or do women dress for other women?
Do men dress for men?
Do women dress for their men? It has to do with a lot of the agony that men experience with Valentine's Day is because most of the time Valentine's Day is during their work hour, and what women do is they talk about each other, and they talk about what their man has gotten them for Valentine's Day. So the pressure is not to impress that woman, but it's to impress her circle of influence.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
You know what? I agree with you, David Tucker. I don't listen. I have. How many women buy chocolates and flowers for their man? When is Valentine's Day just?
I do because I like to eat the chocolate.
Then you ain't buy it for your man. You bought it for you, and you gave it to him.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now,
I am him and he.
So listen, Diane, can we look? I want to try to get people to do this, right? Because Valentine's Day is whatever, right? But we know, like, that same box of candy that you're buying now or will buy before the 14th, if you wait until the 15th, that same box of chocolate will be 70% off.
Yeah, if it's runs out really fast.
Yeah.
Yes, and you wait till the 15th and you give her that box of chocolates, guess what? All of her friends are going to be calling you.
Right. You know what? Calling you a genius.
No, all of your friends will be calling you a genius. All of her friends will be calling you that cheap mofo.
Why? She could have the other money. I don't want the money. See, so if so here's my thing. If let's say the box of chocolate is $100, just for my math purposes, right? And so I get it the day after, so it only costs me $30 because I saved 70%. She could have the other $70. I'm just going, why give the whole 100 to the chocolate people? I'm gonna give them the 30 because now they're in a bind, right? And so they're trying to offload because they need to make room for the next holiday, right? So they got to do something with that inventory. So I'm saying, look, you could, instead of me spending this, so now you eating, if you look at what the per unit cost is for each piece of chocolate in that box at $100, right? Versus what the same chocolate, what the per unit cost is if I get that same box for $30, and then I say to you, so you can eat all of that chocolate, same chocolate you would have eaten before, and I'm gonna put $70 in your pocket. What's wrong with that deal? That seems like a great deal.
That's one of the big reasons why I give my wife chocolate all the time, and not just Valentine's Day. But the truth of the matter is that out showing a display of affection, which drives up the price. And the truth of the matter is how it's frowned upon, and how you will look bad. And she doesn't want you to look bad in the eyes of her girlfriends. So you will spend that 70%.
Well, let me ask you another question. Does chocolate freeze well? Does it freeze? Like, can you?
Yes, it does, because because a frozen Snicker is one of my favorite things to do.
All right, so then why not buy the chocolate the day after Valentine's Day for next year? And then you can give that box of chocolate out on Valentine's Day, but you bought it 364 days early.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you do? Well, because, Eric, I'll tell you what. The month before, well, New Year's Eve, you go to the chocolatiers, buy an expensive box of chocolates, and then freeze it and give it to your girl on Valentine's Day, and then document her response.
There you go. See, you know what? I knew I loved David Tucker. He said, buy Grandma Emma's for Valentine's Day. With that, I'm not stepping on that. And that was not a paid endorsement, by the way. But listen, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Great conversation. I wish the game yesterday was better, but it wasn't. Mask up. And I'm telling you, go check this mask out. It's a like I told you, I'm gonna put it on again for you guys who tuned in late. This is the best fitting mask ever. Let's see if you guys can see it again. Right? There you go. Mask up, stay safe. Like you said, Vincent, I agree. We're gonna be wearing masks. Yeah, at least the next year. At least the next year. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will, if it's God's will, we'll be on tomorrow. We'll be Deirdre Viney Day, so I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Vincent Squire. Appreciate you.
Don't forget Darren. Don't forget Darren.
Oh, and Darren, and Mike Sproul, and Dave Tucker, who's back in the feed, and Mark Duncan. Right? All you guys, please hit the share button.